What's going on, guys? Today we're looking at the most overlooked videos on the Chess Vibes channel. So I started this channel about a year and a half ago. You can see over here 245 videos have been posted. That's a lot of videos, and especially if you're new to the channel, it might be kind of difficult to sift through and figure out which of those are actually worth watching. So I mean, not that I try to make any bad videos, but some just turn out better than others. So what I'm going to do in this video is go through and tell you what I think are the most overlooked videos. Now, the way that I figured this out was I went through all of my old videos and I sorted by least viewed. And I just went through the list, and any videos that were under 10,000 views that I felt like either I had put a lot of time into or had a really valuable lesson to be learned that I think you take some value from, anything like that that jumped out at me, I just made a list of it. Okay, and so I'm going to share those with you. There's going to be links in the description below so you can check those out as well. But before I do that, let me just show you, I don't know how many people actually use this, but you can click on this little search button right over here, and this is for any YouTube channel, right? And let's just say you're interested in learning about endgames. You can just type endgames, or endgame sometimes maybe would be better, but in this case, endgames. And you can see I have 3 crucial endgame principles: rook endings, knight endings, top 25 endgame principles, bishop endings, queen endings, you know, all these different things that have to do with the endgame, right? So if you haven't used this, this is a really good way. Like if you're trying to learn about something, like you're working on tactics, you want to see, does Nelson have any videos on tactics? Let's see, what does he have? Okay, and here you go. Some of these are playlists as well, which may or may not be what you're looking for, but you know, you can just scroll through until you find something that's interesting. So if you haven't used that, this is what I do on a lot of channels. If I find a new YouTuber who has a particular niche that I'm interested in, and I'm like, okay, I wonder if this person has a video on this, this is what I do. And you might have to, like, sometimes you have to play around with it. So you might try tactics, you might try tactic, you might try strategy, like just different words related to what you're looking for. And sometimes you can find some like older videos that, you know, YouTube doesn't really push anymore, but that are actually really good. So keep that in mind. But having said that, now I want to jump in and show you what I think are some of the most overlooked videos on the channel. All right, so first up, I'm going to search for common mistakes, and this should pull it up. Here you go. So these 3 videos, actually, let me scroll so you can see, there's top mistakes in the Evans Gambit. This is the first part, and then there's part 2 down here, and then there's part 3. So this is a series where I analyzed like 100 different games from players of all different ratings. So I broke it up into rating ranges. So you've got the 600 to 1,000, you've got the 1,000 to 1,400, then you've got the 1,400 to 1,800. And all of these players played the Evans Gambit, and I just made a note of like mistakes that they made in that particular opening. So if you do play the Evans Gambit, or you're thinking about playing the Evans Gambit, this is a fantastic like 3 video series to watch, regardless of what your rating is. There's lots of good information, and I think that you'll really learn a lot from that. And like I noticed that like this one has 3,000 views, 4.6 thousand views. So a lot of people haven't seen these videos. So, and that could be because nobody plays the Evans Gambit, but I just wanted to point that out. I think those are pretty good. All right, next I'm going to search 3-step process. So this one right here at the top, 3 steps to solve chess problems. This one's probably more for beginners, but if you haven't had a lot of experience or practice solving tactics puzzles, in this video I basically break down a very simple 3-step process that you can use. I go through a bunch of examples, and I think that's a pretty good one. It only has 6,000 views, so not very many people have watched it. Again, that's kind of geared a little bit more towards beginners, but if you're interested in that, keep that one in mind. All right, next I'm going to search for 26,000 tricked. And this is an opening trap. If you play the Sicilian mainline, this one is really, really good. It's really clever. Lots of people have fallen for it, so I recommend you definitely check that out. Again, I understand not everyone plays Sicilian, but if you do and you haven't seen this video, this is a pretty good one. I recommend that one. So 26,000 tricked. All right, next up we have how to analyze, and this one right at the top, the computer's always right. How to analyze your chess games with a computer. So basically, I've had a lot of people in comments that have asked and said, you know, when I try to look at my games with an engine or a computer, I don't really understand how to make use of what the engine is telling me. A lot of times I don't understand the moves. I don't see why it would recommend a particular move. That's what this video is for. I basically break down how I use chess engines and the computer to help me. And I guess this one actually does have more than 10,000 views. I'm just noticing that now, 12,000, but it's still relatively low amount. And I think this is a really good one for a lot of people who don't have experience using Stockfish. So I show you exactly how to use it, and definitely recommend that one if you haven't seen that one. All right, and last but not least, I'll search for fried liver, and I do have a couple on the fried liver. This one where I say you should play the fried liver as black because you can actually survive if you know exactly what you're doing. But then this one right here below it, how to play the fried liver, is from white's perspective, and I kind of just go through an overview of like what I recommend as white. Of course, maybe you've already seen Levy's video on this, and so that's why nobody really cares about this anymore. But if you want to see the Chess Vibes version, it's here. Only 5,000 people have viewed it. It's one of my older videos, so actually some of these that I've recommended are older videos. That's why they don't have a lot of views, and I was still figuring out the whole YouTube thing at that time, so you'll have to be a little patient with some of that stuff. Like the audio quality on some of these is not the greatest, and even just the intro and my overall presentation skills were a little bit lacking. But as far as the chess content and like what you can learn from the videos, that should be pretty good. So yeah, hopefully this helps you guys. I actually thought about re-recording like all of these videos and just posting them as new videos, but then I just felt like, well, I have so many other things that I can make videos on. Why waste the time recording something again that's already there? I figured I would just bring your attention to it so you know that those are available. Of course, these are all linked in the description below, so whichever one you were interested in, if any, you can find them down there. Yeah, as always, thanks for watching. Stay sharp, play smart, take care.